Hello, everyone. I think I should be live now. Wait for some people to come in. Um, can you see me good? And do I sound good? Video quality, everything good? Let's wait for some people to get here. But we're gonna do a little live tonight, and we're just gonna be talking about something that I found interesting. A little something that Hi, how you doing, Matthew Gamer? What's up? Um, Today I just wanted to come on and chat with y'all and want to get into a little topic that I've been thinking about. I look good. Is there any echo or reverb on the mic? How's the lighting? Light's a little bright. Sound quality's all good? Everything good? How's everyone doing tonight? Everyone good? Okay. All right. Hey, Mr. Dan, how are you? Hey, Matt. Hi, Jay Tesla. How is everyone doing? Everybody say hi to Lay, my girlfriend. She's in the chat. So I wanted to talk about weird movies that we watched when we were kids. Hello from Central New Jersey. I am coming to you from Central New Jersey. Central New Jersey represent. You found me because of the Bridgewater, New Jersey mall video. That's one of my favorite malls. That is my local mall, and that's the mall I grew up going to. So it's near and dear to my heart. So I can walk through that mall and I can point to you where every store used to be. I can tell you what that store was when I was growing up. That used to be the Spencer Gifts. That used to be the Sam Goody. But anyway. So recently, this past weekend, I went to VHS Fest. It was a festival at the Mahoning Drive-In Theater. Central Jersey does exist, but that's not something I want to get into today. So I went to VHS Fest, and it was a vendor event. Just, I guess, at least, about 40, 50 different vendors selling mostly VHS tapes, but a lot of other physical media. And I was looking around, seeing all these old movies, all this stuff that I had forgotten about over the years. And I picked up a few for myself. I picked up movies that I watched as a kid that I still remember so much. Two of the ones I picked up were Neverending Story. I think this is a pretty popular one. I think most people know about this one. And I know Stranger Things, they featured the song on it. So this one's pretty fresh in people's mind. But this was a movie I watched multiple times as a kid. And it is an absolutely fantastic movie, but it's also very weird. And there's a lot of scenes in it that were very scary when I was a kid. And I've gone back and rewatched it. I actually just watched it the other day. This tape I got, and it is an absolutely fantastic movie. Just the practical effects, the storytelling, it's so amazing. And I also picked up The Hobbit. This is the animated Rankin Bass. And what was the year? What year did this come out? 1977, I believe. Um, I actually didn't think it was that old. I actually thought was from the 80s. But anyway, this is the animated Hobbit movie. And this is an absolutely beautifully animated movie. And it was actually my first time I ever saw The Hobbit. I watched this on the Disney Channel. I believe it was Disney Channel when I was a kid. This was the first time I ever saw anything related to The Hobbit, Lord of the Rings. This was before Lord of the Rings live action movie, but it's just the art style is absolutely beautiful. It's absolutely amazing. But again, has a lot of scary parts in it. Has some weird vibes in it too. And another thing I saw at VHS Fest was a poster for sale for the movie Return to Oz. Now, has anyone heard of the movie Return to Oz or seen Return to Oz? It's an unofficial sequel to The Wizard of Oz, and it is absolutely nightmarish. Just start to finish, just scary stuff going on. And I remember that was one of the movies I rented and watched as a kid. Um, and it got me thinking about just how many movies from, I'd say, like the 80s and 90s. I don't know what time period you folks grew up in, but if you were a kid in those time periods, there were a lot of very strange kids movies that came out. They had a lot of just very um I don't know. They seem to be, they weren't afraid of showing things that were scary or maybe intense. Rob's Vintage Video, I have it on VHS. Is that Return to Oz? Hi Nick, how are you? We're actually doing a little movie talk tonight. I just want to come on and just I want to do live streams from home more often, maybe once a week, and just we'll just pick a topic, we'll chat about it tonight. Weird kids movies. And I actually wrote down a list of some weird kids movies that I watched growing up, and I want to get into them and I want to talk about them. And I want you folks in the chat, please share with me, what movies did you watch as a kid that scared you, that were weird, that stuck with you? They don't necessarily have to be kids movies. If they were maybe a movie for adults that you saw as a kid, um, but I know just in the time period that I grew up in, late 80s into the 90s, there were just a lot of strange kids movies coming out. I'm not sure why. But they were really fantastic. I've gone back and rewatched most of them as an adult, and I gotta say they are just such good movies. But let's thank you. JGF writes, thank you for recording history. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'm trying to capture places that are disappearing, because they're going to be gone for a while. Have I watched the Backrooms movie? I don't know why, but I like seeing Backrooms videos. I have watched the Backrooms movie, and I liked it a lot. I liked the direction they went with it. I thought they told a good story using the concept of the Backrooms, because I was worried. I wasn't sure how they would turn the Backrooms into a full movie. Because I know it's kind of just almost more like just a visual horror, but they really told a great story. But anyway, let's get into the topic at hand. How's my picture? Can you all see the Google screen good? Motel Hell. I haven't seen Motel Hell. Let me just look that up real quick. Motel Hell. Now this looks like a scary movie. Oh geez, look at that. Oh wow. So that's a bloody pig head. Let me just read a brief synopsis, because I don't think I've seen this one. Vincent Smith, Rory Calhoun, and his sister Ida run a rural hotel, but they own most of their cash operating a food stand that specializes in world-famous sausage. Well, I think we all know what they're making those sausage out of. I thought we watched Did we watch Motel? Oh, maybe we have, and I forgot it. I don't know. I don't seem to remember this one. But then again, my memory's not so good anymore. It's just one of the things that happens. Did I watch this? Uh, Motel Hello. Vincent's renowned smoked meat is actually human flesh. Sounds almost like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but I don't remember this movie. I'm sorry, Lay. All right, Nick mentioned a good one, The Adventures of Mark Twain. Now, there was a clip of this one floating around. Let me just pull that up. I don't think I've ever watched this entire movie, but there was a clip that had a very terrifying sequence in it. Yeah, this here. I guess this creepy, I guess he's sort of supposed to be like the devil or something like that. And now this I didn't watch as a kid. I don't think I knew this one as a kid. Um, let's take a look at this clip here. Can I make this bigger? Will I get in trouble if I play movie clips on stream, even if they were on YouTube? I hope not. But look at this. This is like a Tool video. Oh, that's terrifying. And this is a kid's movie. And I guess this character is supposed to be sort of like a representative of the devil or something. I'm thinking if the clips are already on YouTube, I probably can't get in trouble for it because all I'm doing is like I don't care if this stream is monetized or not, but like I just don't want to get like a strike or anything like that. But yeah, look at this. This is terrifying. This would be terrifying for like an adult. I'm just going to skim through it. I guess he creates these people, these little claymation people. Oh, and look at what they're doing. Oh gosh. This is making me creep. Oh, I don't like that. Oh god. Yeah. This was for kids. Crazy. The Gate. The Gate, amazing film. Was that the one? I seem to vaguely remember that one. I think I watched that. I think I was a teenager when I watched that one. And isn't there a scene where there's like strange little gremlin creatures running around? Let me see if I can watch the trailers. I should be fine watching trailers, right? Oh, I'm not signed in. All right. Dark Crystal. Yes, Dark Crystal is another great movie for if you're an 80s kid and you got your movies at the rental store. That was one you probably grabbed off the shelf thinking, oh, this is going to be like a fun kids movie. And you took it home, and nope, you immediately see the Skeksis, the creepy Skeksis. Okay, so this is the gate. All right, we got a great 80s bedroom here. 80s movies always had the coolest bedrooms, didn't they? All right, something gonna happen. There were like little creepy gremlins running around in this movie. I seem to remember that. It's been a while since I've seen this one. Let me see if I can skip ahead to some of the creepy stuff in this. Oh, we got flaming books. Oh, see, here we go. Here we go. We got creepy little claymation gremlins. And I don't think this was a kids movie. Was this a kids movie or was this just a straight up horror movie? Check out Basket Case. Basket Case, that's another good one. Yeah. Belial. Yeah, this thing. Look at that. Oh, I'm in the way. Oh. Sorry, I'm new to doing all this streaming stuff, so forgive me if I mess up. Yeah, that's Belial. That's a parasitic twin that was removed from the protagonist, and he carries him around in a little basket, and he has to feed it, and he feeds it people. That's Basket Case. But anyway, Never Ending Story. I just watched this. And Never Ending Story is just full of creepy moments. Like start to finish, it's creepy moments. You have Falkor, and even though he's a heroic character, he's still pretty darn creepy looking. And I think it was just because the way the practical effects in those movies looked, they just looked so real, so lifelike, you know? I feel like movies nowadays just because where's a good spot? Okay, maybe here's a good spot for me. Am I too big? Can you see everything we're trying to look at here? All right. Um, Something about movies nowadays, just with so much CG and green screen, even things that are supposed to be scary, supposed to look scary, they just don't look scary because They don't seem real. I mean, I think like when I watch the movie, obviously once you realize that Falcor is a good person, a good character, he becomes less creepy. But I don't know. And then there were what else was there? There was the rock biter. This guy. And there's a scene in the movie. So in the movie, it begins with Rockbiter meeting two other characters. He meets this one guy who has a snail, and another guy who has like a creepy little bat that flies around. And they're on a quest to stop the Nothing from consuming Fantasia. Now, Fantasia is sort of this fantasy world where the movie takes place, and the Nothing is sort of this void that's sort of consuming Fantasia. It's just becoming nothing. It's basically just a void, and we meet these characters in the beginning of the movie, and then we don't see them for a little while, and then later on, Atreyu encounters him, and he's just like, "These look like big, strong hands, but I couldn't save my friends from the Nothing," and just it's so heartbreaking. Like watching that as an adult, I felt heartbroken. But just imagine how a child would feel watching something like that happen. The wolf always freaked me out. Yes, Gmork. Gmork was terrifying. Look at this thing. And he's in the wall and he's talking to Atreyu. And he's scary looking, but he's saying these things. He's revealing secrets about the movie, about what the Nothing is. And it's almost like an H.P. Lovecraft thing. The movie that traumatized a generation, absolutely, absolutely. And I love it so much. Did you check out the Conjuring movie? I haven't seen the Conjuring movie. I don't know. The 80s were a great time for fantasy adventure films. There were so many good ones. They were so imaginative and so creative. And they just really brought their worlds to life. And so many of them scared the heck out of me as a little kid when I would go to the video store and I'd pick one out for the weekend and I'd take it home and I would watch it. That made me cry. Yeah, it made me cry too. Legend's a good one. It's been a while since I've watched Legend. Oh, and don't even get me started on the part where his horse dies. Where what's his face? Artax sinks into the swamp. Absolutely heartbreaking. Okay. This is not the same Legend. This is Legend. Legend with Tom Cruise. Here we go. And now this one, my memory's hazy on this one. I remember Tom Cruise is sort of the hero, and there's the devil. Yeah, there's this big scary the devil here. It's Tim Curry who plays the devil, right? I mean, he's perfect choice for that. Who could do a better job than that? Look at that. That's what the devil looks like. When you think about the devil, that's what you see. But yeah, I don't remember the story to that one too well. I think that was one I only watched maybe once or twice. But anyway, I have a list of movies I wrote down that I wanted to talk about with you folks. Um, have I watched it? Yeah. I don't think I've seen the new one, but I remember Tim Curry as Pennywise. Who could do a better job than Tim Curry? Look at that. I would run far away from that. But I want to talk about a movie called Return to Oz. And I don't know I don't know how many of you folks have seen Return to Oz. I guess it's on Disney Plus now, which is unfortunate because I don't have Disney Plus. Um, where can I put myself? All right, let me make myself a little smaller. So Return to Oz is a loose sequel to The Wizard of Oz, the original Wizard of Oz. And it stars Fairuza Balk, young Fairuza Balk, who was in The Craft. She was in The Waterboy, American History X, many other movies. Great actress. It was her as a child, and she plays Dorothy. And the movie is just nightmarish from start to finish. Just the feeling of it, the tone. It's just nightmarish. Hey, how you doing, Kalate? The 1990 was terrifying. Brain Scan was crazy. I haven't seen Brain Scan. I want to though. That's in my to be list for a while. The Worst Witch. Okay, that was a movie. I don't. That was another one of these movies, but I don't think I've seen that one. Let's look at Return to Oz. So now she goes to Oz. Actually, before she goes to Oz, um, let's see if we can find the trailer. Before she even goes to Oz, she goes into shock therapy. I guess her family, because she comes back from Kansas, she's talking about the land of Oz, and her family thinks she's crazy, so they take her to an asylum, and she's about to get shock therapy. And this is a kids movie, absolutely insane for a kids movie. But then she goes to Oz, and she finds out that Oz isn't quite the same as it was before. That a lot has changed since she's been there. And it's almost like apocalyptic how Oz looks. And she can't find the Tin Man, the Scarecrow, Cowardly Lion. She meets some new companions. She actually meets a robot called TikTok, and it's spelled just like the uh, the app. Hold on, let me play this. She meets TikTok. She meets Jack Pumpkinhead, and I guess something called the gum. Okay, so here we go. She's at an asylum. This is how the movie begins. Yeah, Return to Oz is a wild one. If you guys get the chance to watch this movie, definitely watch this movie because it's good. It's very creative, very imaginative, but very scary. The skater dudes in Return to Oz. Yeah, they were the Wheelers. And I don't know if they're going to show the Wheelers in this trailer, but they were absolutely terrifying. All right, so here we go. This is the electroshock therapy that they're going to hook her up to. All right, when do we see Oz? So even when they get to Oz and these so-called friendly creatures, her companions, they're just very creepy. Again, it's because of the 80s practical effects, the way that they look. Can we see this trailer's not that great quality? I apologize, but I'm afraid of playing too many clips and getting in trouble. But she's chased by these monsters. Yeah, see, here we go. It's Oz. It's Land of Oz, but it's like crumbling apart. It's like apocalyptic. Yeah, this is what she wakes up to. Oh yeah, and all these are like people turned to stone, and then the Wheelers come out. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, Marissa Tomei was in it. Yeah, here we go. The Wheelers. She's being chased by these really scary creatures. They're these crazy looking dudes, and they have wheels for hands. Oh, thank you for sending me. Everybody who's sending me jewels, thank you so much. I'm not sure what they do exactly, but I appreciate it. I appreciate. Oh, look at this. What just happened? Yeah. Let me see. Is this the same trailer? Oh, Toxic Avenger. Oh, yeah. Oh, hold on. Yeah, Marissa Tomei was in Toxic Avenger. If they're giving me money, thank you so much. I appreciate that. You're helping me put gas in the tank and keep this channel going. I appreciate that so much. And thank you guys for watching any of my videos. If you're here tuning in, thank you so much. I appreciate it. It helps me keep this going. You know, this is something I've been very passionate about over the years, and I've just been trying to give it my all. So, my favorite Oz movie is the non-animated James Franco one. I haven't seen that one. I'll have to check that out. Okay, but here we go. So yeah, she makes this flying machine out of furniture with a talking moose head on it. And she has to escape this evil witch called, I think, Mombi. I recently found your channel, enjoy your comments, subscribed. I'm also a YouTuber. Okay, Adventure 50. So be sure, folks, if you want to follow a channel, check out Adventure 50. I'll be sure to check your channel out after I finish my stream. Yeah, this is like the yellow brick road. It's all torn up. And she has a talking chicken. She doesn't have Toto. She has a talking chicken. The James Franco one is directed by Sam Raimi. Oh, so it's probably good then. Yeah, see, here we go. The Tin Man's turned to stone. This is just an absolute fever dream, start to finish. Look at all this. Look at that. That's terrifying. And even the happy stuff is creepy. This was my childhood. This is what made me the way that I am. Adventure 50, what do you do on your channel? All right. So that was Return to Oz. And another one I wrote down. Okay. We're going to check out Secret of NIMH. Has anybody seen Secret of NIMH? So Secret of NIMH was an animated movie. And I believe it was Don Bluth. Yes, Don Bluth. And I guess Don Bluth was sort of a competitor to Disney. And the animation is absolutely beautiful, absolutely great quality. Have I seen The Wiz? I have seen The Wiz, and that's another really scary movie. The Wiz has the same vibe as Return to Oz. There's a scene in The Wiz where, like, look at this. What is that? That's horrifying. Thank you for the jewels, Matthew Gamer. When I went to the Egypt market, was it Sunday or Wednesday? It was Wednesday. I'm also in NJ, Sussex County here. I review EDC, outdoor gear reviews. I also like to go offbeat roadside attractions. Well, that sounds like a really fun time. Definitely sounds like it's similar to what I do on my channel, so I'll be sure to check that out. And folks, if you like my channel, be sure to check out Adventure 50. Roadside attractions, you know, I mean, that stuff's great. So we had, yeah, The Wiz, and it was Michael Jackson in it. But I remember there was a subway scene, and the subway scene was terrifying. The Wheelers were spooky as hell. Same with Mamba and all her heads in that room. Yeah, there was a scene. It's not the Wicked Witch of the West. It's a witch called, I think, Mombi. And she has different heads. She has a hallway of heads. And she just picks a head and puts it on her body and starts talking, and then takes a different head. Yeah. She's just taking all these heads and putting them on her body. And yeah, she has like a hallway of heads. And now imagine watching that as a kid. It, nightmare fuel. Um, okay, Lay writes, "Oh, Ray, I told you about this movie, but check out the child catcher from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. That creeped me out as a kid." Okay, that sounds frightening. Let's watch this guy's TikTok. Can we see this okay? Because I have no sound. But yeah, there's a scene where they go into a subway and the trash cans come to life and start attacking them. It was absolutely creepy. That's the only thing I really remember from that movie. Watership Down is another one. Watership Down is one I got on my list. We're going to talk about that one. That's a great movie. Um, yeah, very very scary and traumatizing. And can you play the trailer for Peanut Butter Solution? Cocaine Cabinet 80s movie for sure. Only way it was greenlit. I'm gonna get to Peanut Butter Solution, so just hold on a moment. That movie is crazy. Time Bandits. You know what? I actually have not seen Time Bandits yet, but I managed in my thrifting adventures to find the DVD and the VHS of it. This guy's just talking. I'm trying to find. Let me find the subway scene. Let's see if we can watch this. So, Nick, what happens in Time Bandits? Okay, here we are in the subway, and subways are creepy already. What's going on here? Oh gosh, this is terrifying. And even these characters who are supposed to be like Dorothy and her bunch, they look terrifying. Just the costumes, the makeup. Yeah, like that's creepy. I'm sorry. Oh, marionettes, puppets in general are creepy. Oh, and they're growing. This is scary. And you know what sells it? It's the way the characters in the movie react to it. You know, because they could be laughing at this and being, "Oh, this is silly. This is funny," but it's just the way that they're responding with such terror that really sells it. And when you're a kid, you're impressionable like that. You pick up on these vibes. Mombi, yeah, she was so creepy. She was the nurse when Dorothy was in the hospital. That's another aspect of Return to Oz that's really creepy is the fact that maybe it's not actually a real fantasy land. Maybe it is really just all in Dorothy's head as she's in an asylum getting shock therapy. Nothing But Trouble is a whacked out movie. I watched it at least 100 times. So Nothing But Trouble. That's a movie. I don't think I've ever watched it. Oh look. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Killer trash cans coming at you. Oh man, I'm grown up and I'm gonna have nightmares about this. But there's the roller coaster scene in Nothing But Trouble that I watched as a kid, and that just terrified me. I'm gonna have to go back and watch that full movie now that I'm an adult. Movie Maniac Nick writes about Time Bandits, featuring a young boy who joins a group of time traveling dwarves on their quest for treasure. The film is for its unique blend of humor and darker themes, making it a cult classic. That sounds like a fantastic movie, quite honestly. And that's Terry Gilliam, I believe. Another a movie I want to talk about is Baron Munchausen. If we get to all these tonight, I don't know if we'll get to all these tonight, but Baron Munchausen. I'm gonna stop this because I'm getting scared of this one now, and we're jumping topics. So, Time Bandits. Let me just look up Time Bandits real quick. I'll have to watch that one. And Brazil, yes. Adventure 50 mentions Brazil, also by Terry Gilliam. Time traveling dwarves. That's so. That's so awesome. Yeah, I have the VHS and the DVD. I'll have to pop them in. Jay Driller writes, ever see Freaked? Has two walking eyeballs that gave me nightmares. Freaked is an amazing movie that no one knows about. Now, I watched this. I was a kid, but I wasn't a little kid. And it has Alex Winter in it from Bill and Ted. And he ends up, I guess his car breaks down at a traveling sideshow, and they turn them all into freaks. Now, I was recently at VHS Fest at the Mahoning Drive-In Theater, and just a few days before I went to VHS Fest, they actually had a screening of this movie. And had I not gone there for VHS Fest, I would have loved to have gone to see this one because I've watched this one a couple times. It's very obscure. I don't think it had a theatrical release, but it's so full of. I guess I'm on Amazon. I'm just trying to pull up pictures. It's just so weird. It's so bizarre. And there were these killer eyeballs in it. Yeah, killer eyeballs with machine guns. Sometimes I would get scared of the lion in The Wiz in certain scenes. Yeah, but they look very creepy. They just do. I don't think they intended them to, but there's something uncanny valley about the makeup choices that they went with. Yeah, and this is Keanu Reeves had a cameo as Dog Boy. I guess with his friend Alex Winter from Bill and Ted. Hi, Ray. Ever heard of the Bermuda Depths from 1978? I don't think I've heard of that one. Is it about the Bermuda Triangle? Let's see. Let's go to IMDb. It's a TV movie. Did anyone say Nothing But Trouble? Yes. And Nothing But Trouble is one that I need to go back and watch the full movie as an adult. I watched the roller coaster scene as a kid multiple times, and it freaked me out very much. Nothing But Trouble was the debut of Tupac. He was part of the Digital Underground, who performed with the Judge a few minutes after that roller coaster scene, you remember. Lay, my girlfriend, I remember she was telling me about that because we were in my car listening to Digital Underground, believe it or not. Scientists investigating the briny deep are threatened by a giant turtle and the spirit of a young brunette swimmer in the Bermuda Triangle. That sounds cool. Oh, we have a little dried devilfish here. Let's see, can we get pictures of it? So I guess it sort of has like a supernatural vibe to it. This looks like one I'll have to check out. Oh yeah, here we go. Giant turtle. Thank you for the gold coins, Matt. I appreciate that. Yeah, I love a giant monster movie. Anytime I'll watch them. I found the little pixies to be weird in Willow. Willow is another great, great movie. I get willow trees. Now Willow's fantastic. I remember watching Willow, but I don't think it scared me. I think I actually was like really with it. I was disappointed to find out that Valkenvania wasn't a real town in New Jersey. It could be in our hearts. Hi Josh, how you doing in New York? Great state of New York. Yeah, and these are the Pixies. And they look like adult full-size humans. They're actually like little tiny people. And this had Val Kilmer in it. And this was a great, great fantasy movie. I guess he's sort of like a halfling, like a hobbit. Um and he has to protect I believe it's an infant who's like a wizard or something. What mall should I go to in New Jersey with my significant other? He's in Burlington. Um, I guess if you're in South Jersey, you might want to check out the Cherry Hill Mall. It's a good mall to shop at. It's kind of busy though. It's, I don't like it because it gets too busy, and it's like a new modern mall. So I'm not sure what you're looking for. If you're looking for like a dead mall or a dying mall, um, if you are, you may want to go over to Pennsylvania side. Maybe check out Neshaminy or um, Philadelphia Mills, Franklin Mills, or whatever. Back to the Beach was a fun time. So many cameos in that movie. Pee Wee Herman. Back to the Beach. I remember watching that one as a kid, and I just remember the scenes with Pee Wee Herman in it. Just a lot of fun. And that's one I really need to go and rewatch as an adult. You're looking for an alive mall? Okay, so I would definitely recommend Cherry Hill Mall. I think that's probably the closest one in your area there. If you do want to go over to the Pennsylvania side, maybe King of Prussia, because that's another really, really big mall. Lots of food, lots of shopping. You can get lost in that mall all day. But let's see, what was scary in Willow? Yeah, so there was this monster. Let's watch this clip. Yeah, Val Kilmer's best parts. He was Mad Mardigan, sort of a lone warrior. Let me skip the ads. And this was this Ron Howard who directed this one? I just loved these movies. They were just so imaginative. Okay, here we go. Creepy two-headed monster. I'm looking over there because my electric fan, I thought I had it turned off, but it's just randomly turning on and off. I think there may be a ghost or something in the room. But look at this. I think these are stop motion. They got to be stop motion. Yeah. Oh, look at his creepy skull helmet. I think he was the warlord. He was sort of like the bad guy. And then we have Willow, played by Warwick Davis. Mr. Bruh, hello Ray, how are you? The hazy air is crazy. Yeah, it's really bad outside. Yeah, I don't. It's scary. I really don't like it. So you know what? Are these stop motion or are these puppets? I don't know. The way that they're moving is very fluid, so they may actually be puppets. It's crazy because I'm also near Bridgewater Mall, and Jay, I imagine I just see you. You might see me there sometime. I do go there pretty often. It's where I go when I need to do like actually do shopping and or get something at the food court. Yeah, so that's Willow. And I remember there was a scene where um uh there's like a character and they keep morphing into different animals. Oh yeah, here we have the death dogs. Yeah, I remember this part. They're being chased by these giant creepy dogs. Yeah, look at that. It's so creepy. M Music writes, some of my childhood favorites, Near Dark, Labyrinth, Troll, Night of the Comet, Phantom of Paradise, Street Trash, Liquid Sky. Those are all some great movies. Near Dark is one of my favorite vampire movies of all time. Night of the Comet's amazing. I still need to see Phantom of the Paradise and Liquid Sky, but those look really great. You're a mall channel, Ray. I'm surprised you're going off your normal topic. Well, let me tell you something. There's more to life than malls. I want to cover lots of different things. I want to expand the topics I cover on my channel to beyond just malls and retail. Lately I've been going to like a lot of festivals and things like that. And what kind of provoked this topic of discussion today is I went to VHS Fest, and it's a festival at a drive-in theater in Pennsylvania. Met all kinds of cool people, and I picked up some VHS tapes that reminded me of some of the creepy movies that I watched. So if you haven't seen that video, be sure to check it out after the stream. I had a really good time. Really fun video. And it just got me on the topic of weird movies as I watched as a kid. And now that I figured out how to do live streams from home, I just want to come on maybe about once a week and just chat with you folks and just, maybe pick a topic. Just, something interesting that we can get into. And, just generally speaking, besides just, malls and retail, because there are a lot of other channels that do that. I just kind of want to expand to cover just, basically things that are nostalgic, retro oriented, stuff like that. Weirdest horror movie I watched was The Stuff. Didn't eat yogurt for years. I know about The Stuff. I don't think I've actually watched The Stuff, but it's on Tubi. I should check that out. Yeah, Killer Yogurt. My neighbor's 4-year-old son asked me why it smelled like hot dogs outside. It made me laugh. I had to explain the wildfires to him. It does. You can smell the burning in the air. It's bad. Would rather see the Willow over going to see the Odyssey. Movie has that yellow piss filter. Looks boring. Yeah, modern movies they don't look good. They just look so fake. That's why I love old movies and I love practical effects because they had certain look to them. They looked real. Can we talk about music like vinyl? Maybe on another stream. I'll get into vinyl. I'll show off some of my records. I don't know what everybody listens to. I listen to a lot of like alternative rock from like the 80s and 90s, stuff like that. A lot of new wave. I have pretty diverse tastes, but that's a whole nother can of worms. Let's get back to weird movies we watched when we were a kid. I love Witches. Rowan Atkinson was great in it. That's one I need to see. I've heard that one's a wild, wild trip. I like Making Contact and The Gate. Lots of cool 80s toys appeared in those. The Gate's a good one. New wave gothic rock. Hell yeah, that's where it's at. All right. Let me talk about a movie called The Peanut Butter Solution. Now, this is a movie I did not watch this as a kid. I only just recently watched it about a few months ago, and it is one of the most bizarre movies I have ever seen. And what it's about is it's about a young boy, and I guess his friends dare him to go inside a haunted house. Let me find some videos of it. They dare him to go inside a haunted house, and while he's inside the haunted house, a ghost scares him, and he loses all his hair. And then I guess later on, he goes back into the same house and he meets the ghosts again, and they give him a recipe to make his hair grow back. And it's peanut butter and all kinds of other really disgusting things. And so many ads. And he puts it on his scalp, and his hair starts growing at like a really long rate. He has just like long flowing hair. And then I guess he gets kidnapped by, I guess, his art teacher, and he's held captive, and he's making paintbrushes out of his hair. It's so weird. It operates on kid logic, the whole movie. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, this is the kid. These are his little friends. And I guess it was a Canadian movie. Ray, we share music taste, but I love your movie tastes too. We have good taste. All right, let me see. Yeah, so he falls out of the haunted house because he gets scared by a ghost. I grew up with the guys in Typo Negative. Every time your girlfriend wears one of those shirts in your videos, I pop. I grew up in Brooklyn. Lay is a very big Typo Negative fan. It's her favorite band. You've probably noticed she has every t-shirt they ever made. She has a Typo Negative tattoo. She loves Typo Negative. They're a fantastic band. And we miss Peter Steele every day. Okay, yeah. So I guess his dad is sort of like an artist, and his mom's not around. And that's his sister. Yeah, so he loses his hair, and then I guess kids are bullying him for it. And again, it's just it works on like child logic. Like as an adult, you watch the movie and it's like this doesn't make any sense. This is so bizarre. But I imagine if you were a kid watching this movie, it you would be able to follow it. It would make sense to you. Oh yeah, and these are the ghosts. These are sort of like the friendly ghosts. I guess they're the ones who scare him in the beginning, but they turn out to be friendly. They give him this recipe to regrow his hair, and it's all this gross stuff, but it's also peanut butter, and I guess he adds too much peanut butter, and it makes his hair grow way too long. Just so I don't forget, I think you would love Brigitte Calls Me Baby based on your music taste. Several people have recommended Brigitte Calls Me Baby to me. I haven't actually sat down and listened to them yet, but the people say I would like them, so I need to go check them out, sit down and just listen to some of their music all the way through. But I think I would probably like them. Let me find pictures of the kid with his hair. Yeah, so his hair starts growing back at a really long rate. Like he just gets this long, long hair and he has to keep cutting it and like it grows back again by the end of the day. So then this creepy teacher kidnaps him. Yeah, this is what his hair looks like. This creepy teacher kidnaps him and he's holding him in a factory and he's just cutting his hair and making paintbrushes out of his hair. Weird, weird movie. Have I heard of the Ocean Blue? I think I listened to the Ocean Blue. I think I've heard them. I don't think they're one of my favorites, but they're a band I know I've heard. I'd probably should get deeper into them. I probably would like them a lot. Yes, we were at a bookstore, and what was the name of the bookstore? I want to say it was called Broad Street Books. Let me give them a shout out on stream because they were really nice people. Broad Street Books, and it's in Branchville, New Jersey. Amazing bookstore, great selection. But they have this little back section of all of her concert memorabilia. It's a husband and wife. And I noticed they had the set list from an Echo and the Bunnymen show from 2023 in New York City. And I actually was at that very same show with them. But anyway, yeah, Broad Street Books. Anyway, they're the ones who recommended Brigitte Calls Me Baby. But definitely check out Broad Street Broad Street Books in Branchville if you're in the area. Great bookstore. Support your local bookstore. Support your local record store. Support any place that's still selling books, media, anything like that. Go to those places and buy stuff. Yeah, we got a lot of cool books from there. The art teacher was the creepiest dude. The whole family was weird. The sister was like the mom, and the dad was a deadbeat artist. Yeah, like the sister in the movie. Like, I guess she's supposed to be similar age to the main character, the boy, but she just has like this like adult energy about her. I guess because she was in the role of being the mom for the family. And the dad's just sort of this dude who's just kind of there. He doesn't even really know what's going on. But this is on Tubi. Check this out if you want to watch a weird movie. Oh yeah, this is the art teacher. And he's just a really creepy dude. I'm seeing Howard Jones and Wang Chung in Atlantic City. Oh, that sounds so cool. I don't think we're gonna make it to that one, but we saw Howard Jones about a year ago, a little over a year ago in New York City. He puts on a fantastic show, and I did see Wang Chung. I saw Wang Chung as part of an '80s tour. It was Men Without Hats, Thompson Twins, a whole bunch of other '80s bands. And Wang Chung is absolutely fantastic live. You are going to have a great time at that show. It's in Atlantic City. I don't know. I don't think we. I don't know if we're gonna make it. We're not. We're trying not to spend too much money on concerts because they're getting to be very expensive, and we just don't have the time to go to all of them. Someone suggested them: Alex Cameron, Declan McKenna, and of course the Killers. Not familiar with them. I know the Killers. He's playing on Long Island August 20th. Oh yeah, Thomas Dolby was at the 80s tour I went to. And this was up in the Poconos. Fantastic time. All right, back on weird movies. Let's get into some more that I have seen. The Last Unicorn. Has anyone seen The Last Unicorn? Now, this is a movie that is just so beautiful. Let me move myself again. I'm blocking things. Animated movie, absolutely beautiful animation, beautiful story, but it's just very sad, very somber, melancholy movie. The friend that uses the yeah, oh yeah, that's another thing. So again, this is a kids movie, not meant for adults. The main character's friend, I'm talking about the peanut butter solution again. He rubs the peanut butter solution on his pubic hair, and his hair is we actually see his pubic hair growing down out of the bottom of his pant leg in a kids movie. I don't get it, but it's such a strange thing to put in a kids movie. I'm only about 15 minutes from that bookshop. I love the local bookshop. Definitely check that one out. Broad Street Books. But anyway, Last Unicorn. I don't remember the plot too well. Let me go to Last Unicorn because this was a beautiful movie and it had a great story, but I just remember it was very somber. A female unicorn learns from two hunters and a butterfly that she is the last of her kind. Since a malevolent entity called the Red Bull, nothing to do with the energy drink. It's an actual, yeah, here's a picture of it. It's an actual Red Bull, a flaming demonic bull. The Red Bull has herded nearly all of the unicorns to the ends of the earth. The unicorn then sets on a journey to find them. So, anyway, she goes on this journey. She meets, I think, a young wizard is her main companion through it, and I think a knight, like a handsome princely knight. And eventually, they get to this castle, and it's this evil king, and he's having the Red Bull herd the unicorns into the ocean. Let me see if I can find a picture of that. Yeah, the whole movie just has a sad tone to it. I just want to warn everybody. I am talking spoilers in these movies. I'm sorry. I know I've spoiled things in some of the movies. I didn't really give a good warning on that. Um, so sorry about that. If you're worried about spoiling any of these movies, maybe you don't want to watch this stream. But um, so what happens is the wizard turns the unicorn into a human woman, and he does it to protect her from being herded into the ocean. And I guess then she's like sad that she's not a unicorn anymore, but then she falls in love with sort of like the princely knight character. And so it kind of it's like the story of her like learning to feel love and emotion because I guess unicorns couldn't feel that. I forget how it all ends, but it's a beautiful, beautiful movie. It's a musical. It has sort of like almost like these 70s folk ballads in it. It's just a great movie. I highly recommend that one. Great companion to This is the Sea Prince and Fire Child. That's another one. Was that by the same creators? I don't think I've seen that one, but that's another one with just that beautiful animation style. I saw Boy George, Howard Jones, and Berlin at Bethel Woods 2 summers ago. Great show. All these old new wave bands that are still touring, they are all still so fantastic. Definitely go see them if you have the chance. Oh, back on peanut butter solution. When the sister knows the hair in the paint store with the brushes and everyone is cheering, the Celine Dion music plays. Yeah, they have Celine Dion music, young Celine Dion, singing songs in peanut butter solution. I guess it was a French Canadian production. Just check something real quick. Sea Prince is Japanese. Okay. Yeah, but just look at this. I love animated movies, hand drawn animation. It's a lost art because everything's CGI nowadays and it just doesn't have the same soul. And this is scary when you're a kid, you know? Just gonna skim it. Yeah, and he turns her into a human woman. Rankin Bass. Oh yeah, it's a Rankin Bass movie. Rankin Bass is the same ones who did The Hobbit, which is amazing, and I'm so glad I have this on VHS now. I got this for $2. Can you believe that? The sounds similar to the Nothing destroying Fantasia. Yeah, there's always sort of like a theme of just like these fantasy worlds falling apart because people have lost the ability to dream, ability to imagine. And I think that was sort of a theme in the original Lord of the Rings novels too. All right, what else do I have here? All dogs go to heaven. Now this one I don't remember very well. And this is Don Bluth. Don Bluth made great movies. He was not afraid to make scary movies. But then again, Disney movies were pretty scary back then too. Now I don't remember this one too well, but I do remember there was a scene where they're in hell, actually. They actually go to hell, or he has a dream that he's in hell. Let me move myself. And he sees like these demonic skeletal creatures. Yeah. Yeah, I remember this pretty well. That's the one scene I remember. I guess this is the bad guy. Definitely nightmare fuel. Has anyone seen this one? Did anybody watch this one as a kid? I know I did, but I never really liked it. And another one, Brave Little Toaster. Oh man, this movie was just full of scary stuff. Remember this? Remember the evil clown? You've seen it once. Yeah, Brave Little Toaster had many, many nightmarish sequences. There was the air conditioner that I guess sort of self-destructs. And so it's like appliances are like sentient beings. They have life, they have personalities, and when they break, it's like they're dying. It's really weird to see stuff like that as a kid. This is not a Disney movie. Let me see. Yeah, we got the brave little toaster. He's all happy. Let me just get to the. Yeah, he has a dream. Just has nothing to do with the rest of the movie. He has a dream where an evil firefighter clown is chasing him. It doesn't make any sense. Has nothing to do with anything. Oh yeah, and there's a scene where cars in the junkyard are getting demolished while we see them like talking and singing and having consciousness. They're getting destroyed. Childhood trauma explains a lot about why my generation is the way it is. These were the things we grew up watching. Yeah. I remember this part. There was a tidal wave of forks. Didn't make any sense. Had nothing to do with anything. The animation was beautiful then. The real old Disney classics, amazing visually. Yeah, all these old hand drawn animated movies, they are so beautiful, so gorgeous. It's a shame they don't make them anymore. It's an absolute shame. If Disney wants to make some money, I heard the live action Moana bombed. No more live action remakes. Go back to the hand drawn animation. Because I guarantee you, everybody in my generation, all the Gen X, heck, even the boomers, they're all going to go out to see it because we all miss that so much, you know? Hi, Jeremy. How you doing? Secret of Nim and Watership Down were traumatizing to me as a kid. Yeah, Secret of Nim. Let me get back into that one. I'll get back into Secret of Nim and uh, Watership Down, but I want to talk about Secret of Nim because I watched Secret of Nim multiple times as a kid, and I've watched it as an adult, and I gotta say, it's. Oops, am I still good? Um, it's one of my favorite animated movies. It's a story about Miss Frisbee, and she's a small mouse. She has three small children. I guess her mouse husband died, and she lives in a cinder block in a field on a farm. And I guess her young son is sick, and she needs to move them, I think, to a different location or something. So she needs to find the rats of Nim, who are these super smart. No, they're the rats actually. They're lab rats who escaped from a facility where they were tested on, and they have like higher intelligence than like a regular rat. And so she goes on this quest. Everything in this movie is just dark. The whole movie they're just going through caves and tunnels, and it's very dark. And when she reaches the rats of Nim, the guard actually comes at her with sort of like this lance, and it's electrified. But then I guess the other rats of Nim see who she is, and they're like, no, stop, let her in. And she meets with like this old wizard rat, and I guess they come up with a plan to move her house, help her children. But then things go wrong. But I remember there were a couple of really very intense scenes in it. There was a scene where we see because there's a scene where we see the rats and their origin and that they're a part of an animal testing facility. And up until this point, it sort of had like a fantasy feel to it. But then we see this lab and these rats being tested on, and it's really disturbing. It's really jarring. So good, so creepy, but definitely beautiful. Oh yeah, Nicodemus was the name of um the rat, the wizard rat. Let me see if I can pull up videos. Shelley Duvall's fairy tale theater had a lot of super eerie moments. The wolf eating the grandpa. That's something I've heard of, but I haven't actually seen. Shelley Duvall was awesome. I'll have to go check that out. Fern Gully. That was another one. Whoops, not trying to do that. Sorry, I'm new to streaming and I keep messing up. Let's see if we can see the lab scene. So it sort of has like a magical fantasy vibe to it, which was very common of kids movies back then. But then we go to the scene where we see them in the lab. And I guess just that contrast of sort of like fantasy and like real world science, like and something disturbing like an animal testing lab, which is the disturbing thing to think about. Yeah, animation absolutely superb. Yeah, this is burned into my mind, this scene where they're all in the cages here. Oh, and see, this is just disturbing. This is disturbing and traumatizing, even just it's like an adult. They were just letting little kids watch it. I walked right into that video rental store, said, "Mom, I want to watch this movie." Okay, it's a cartoon. We'll watch it. Oh, and here we go. Ooh, yeah. We see them get injected with something. Yeah, and it gets trippy. And I guess they get like super intelligent. They're super intelligent mice and rats. So there was that. But now I'm gonna spoil it. I want to get into the ending. So for the ending, I guess there's an evil rat of Nim who's planning on betraying the good rats of Nim. And I guess he pulls out a sword and he has this sword fight with the good rat. I think this is Justin. And they have a sword fight and it's very intense, very bloody. I think they show blood. Yeah, it's just like a very intense fight scene. And we see characters get stabbed and they're bleeding and this was a kids movie. This is what they let us watch back then. But again, absolutely fantastic movie. If you have the chance to watch this one, check it out. I think it might be on Tubi. It's probably pretty easy to find this one. Secret of Nim is so good. I rewatch it all the time on Tubi. It is so good. And now let me talk about another very graphic, horrifying movie about animals. Watership Down. Now, Watership Down, I don't believe it was intended to be a kids' movie. I believe it was fully intended to be for adults, even though it was animated. But people saw, oh, cartoon rabbits. My kids should watch this, you know? It was full of horrifying moments, graphic violence, intense situations. Look at this. Yeah. We got rabbits fighting with each other and bleeding. Yeah. It was it was horrific. Now I did not watch this as a kid. I was spared this one, fortunately. I watched it as an adult. It's been a while, so I don't fully remember the entire plot line of it. Um, but it's a great movie. Absolutely beautiful animation. It's about rabbits, and I think they're basically just on the run from like humans and cats and dogs and other things that are after them. But they have sort of like their own culture, like they have like their own stories and myths. It just they sort of tell this whole tale of rabbits. Excuse me, I'm just gonna get a drink of water. Been yapping. Ugh. Been yapping so much. How long have I been on here for? About an hour? How many folks we got in here? Oh, 20 people. Hope you guys are enjoying this. I know it's not really my usual thing, but it's something I want to branch out on and try. Just have these weekly live streams where I catch up with you and chat with you. Okay. Oh, geez, look at there was all this blood and gore in this one. We have the rabbits getting attacked and killed by dogs. Bloody rabbit fights. Super traumatizing. And so this is the movie poster. This is actually the movie poster. And there's a scene in the movie where one of the rabbits gets caught in a snare and it's about to die. And all the other rabbits are just scrambling to dig out where the snare is like staked down. And they manage to save the rabbit. But it's just such a high tension moment. It's just really, really terrifying. I couldn't imagine being a kid and seeing this one. Because this one's rough. Even as an adult watching it, I'm just like, oh, damn, it's a bit much. Did anybody see Watership Down? Have you seen it as an adult or as a child? Another one I want to talk about that I did see as a kid, that I saw in theaters as a kid, that scarred me for life. Land Before Time. Ooh, sorry, I keep doing that. I'm sorry. I'm trying to move my window. I'm not used to this streaming software I'm using. I'm still learning how to do it. But anyway, Land Before Time. And if you've seen this movie, you know what scene I'm talking about. The scene where Littlefoot's mother dies. Now, I was watching this. I loved dinosaurs when I was a kid, so my mom took me to a screening of Land Before Time. And I'm in the theater, like, bawling my eyes out, going, "Is she dead? Is she dead?" And my mom's like, "No, no, she's just sleeping." But see, that was the type of thing they would show in movies. They didn't shy away from showing death and violence and things like that. Here we go. Here we go. Millennials, tell me where your childhood started. I'll go first. They didn't shy away from showing people that. And in a way, I really respect that because even though the audience was children, you're still treating them with enough respect to show them topics that you think that you can handle. You know? I feel like everything being so sanitized and so clean and just so safe, it's almost insulting to people. You know, it's almost insulting to people's intelligence because children are smarter than what most people think. You know, I think maybe not something quite as intense as Land Before Time, but something like Neverending Story, which really challenges the way people think. You know, I think we've lost that. Let's see. There was The Plague Dogs, a hard watch sampled in a Skinny Puppy track. I've heard of The Plague Dogs. I don't think my heart can handle that one because I love dogs. And I know it's about, I guess, two dogs who have the plague and they're being hunted by humans to stop the spread of an outbreak. Like, even just the sound of that just it sounds just intense. I don't think I can do that one. Never heard of Watership Down. Check it out. It's actually a really great movie. Um, Fun hanging out. Yeah, thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for watching this one. Just wanted to randomly do this. You know, I was thinking about VHS Fest, and I was chatting with some people I met there, just about these old movies I watched as a kid, and just how they affected me, and just how the vibe of kids movies during that era, the 80s and 90s, was just so vastly different from what kids watch today. Yeah, it's horrible. Yeah, Plague Dogs sounds horrible. I don't think I can do Plague Dogs. Mac and Me was a stupid ET ripoff, but it was sure entertaining how bad it was. I haven't seen Mac and Me yet, but I want to see Mac and Me. That's what I want to check out. But anyway, Land Before Time. The okay, what else do we have here? I have a bunch written down. I don't know if I want to go through all of them. American Tail. Who watched American Tail? American Tail wasn't that bad. I don't think American Tail was that bad. Just gotta make myself a little smaller here. I'm gonna move myself back over here. Sorry guys, I know this stream's kind of a mess. I'm still learning how to do this. Overall, American Tail was a pretty good movie. Very similar to most Disney movies, even though it was a Don Bluth. But there was one sequence with the Mouse of Minsk, and I think because they used rotoscope animation, it gave it a very strange look. Yeah, this part. Yeah, this thing was creepy looking. Let me get a video of that. Gotta sit through the ads. American Tail was actually pretty ahead of its time. Yeah, it was. I watched American Tail, but I think I watched Five Goes West more often as a kid, just because I had it on tape. But I love Five Goes West. Okay, here we go. Let's see this giant creepy mouse. Here we go. Look at this. They made this giant rat machine thing to scare away the evil cats. And I think they used a different animation technique. I think they made an actual puppet and then rotoscoped it. So that's why it looks so realistic compared to the rest of the animation in the movie. But look at that. That's cool. They're shooting fireworks out of it. Yeah. Don Bluth made some great movies. Don Bluth made Dragon's Lair, which is a great arcade game. Let's see. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. I don't want to get too into that one because that's been talked about a lot. Baron Munchausen. Again, a Terry Gilliam movie. This was one I watched as a kid, and I just recently rewatched it as an adult. I gotta say, it is an absolutely fantastic movie. We have this character, Baron Munchausen, and he's sort of this guy who just tells all these tall tales. And then we just kind of like get drawn into his adventure world. Let's watch the trailer on this one. Again, this one just had like really over the top set pieces. The costumes were great. Practical effects were great. And again, it was just another one of those just like very imaginative fantasy movies from that era. There were so many good ones. Had young Uma Thurman in it, Robin Williams. But yeah, look at this. This is so cool. Yeah, I still got to watch Time Bandits, but I have Time Bandits on VHS. Maybe I'll pop that in later on. Yeah, yeah. Well, these giant creatures, these wacky characters. Yeah, just a great movie. Yeah. What else I want to talk about? Okay, there's one more that I want to get into. It's the TV adaptation of Alice in Wonderland from 1985. This movie is absolute nightmare fuel. And I watched this. This was playing on the Disney Channel pretty often when I was a kid. Um, and I genuinely had nightmares from this one. There's one particular scene. I'm going to see if I can find the scene, but we'll watch the trailer real quick. Just the young actress who played Alice in the movie, she just comes across as just being so afraid and vulnerable the whole time that it just really gives the whole thing a sense of uneasiness. And when you're a kid, you watch these things, you pick up on that, and you feel it too. Like this was not fun. This was frightening. Just the whole time, just scary stuff happening to Alice. Great VHS transfer here. Core memory unlocked. I haven't seen this in ages. Yeah, I'm gonna have to rewatch this one. I think the whole thing is on YouTube, and it's long. It was like a two-part TV movie. Yeah, here we go. We got the Jabberwocky. She gets attacked by the Jabberwocky, and that was the part that gave me nightmares. All right, so this is the scene that's really frightening and weird. So she gets out of Wonderland and she thinks she's back home, but all is not what it seems. So she's back home. She wants her mother and father, but they're nowhere to be found. Every time I hear of Baron Munchausen, it takes me back to the night I broke my arm doing a spin on an ice puddle, got casted up, and watched this crazy movie. Only time I saw it, though. Well, at least you had a. Sorry that happened, but you had some good entertainment to get through it. Yeah, so she's back home, and no one's there. And now you're probably thinking like, this isn't that scary. When you're a little kid and you think about the idea of being home and your parents aren't there, that's scary. But here we go. She's looking through the mirror at a mirror image of her house. She sees her cat on the other side, and she sees her parents on the other side of the mirror, and she calls to them, and they can't hear her. Now, this is like the type of thing that plays upon childhood fear, just like that fear of being abandoned, fear of something happening to your parents, you know. But it gets worse. Yeah, it is horrifying for a kid. So she sits down and picks up a book. She reads the Jabberwocky. Let me, yeah, the Jabberwocky, which is a creepy poem about a creepy monster. Now, I was a little kid. I didn't know what the Jabberwocky was. I know it's like a nod to like the the literature behind Alice in Wonderland and all that stuff, but I had no idea what's coming. And this genuinely scared me and gave me nightmares for a long time. And anytime I would think about Jabberwocky or a Jabberwock or whatever it was, I got really scared. And here we go. She's in an alternate dimension where her parents can't help her. And then the Jabberwocky comes out. There it is. Look at that. That's absolutely terrifying to a little kid to see. You're just watching Alice in Wonderland. Next thing you know, giant dripping wet dragons coming out of your living room for you. And then they keep flashing to like the negative. They made this so scary for kids. Like, I don't know, do any of you folks have kids, or are you around kids? Do you watch media for kids nowadays? I don't think there's any media that has scary moments for kids in it anymore. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Maybe it's a good thing, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm not around kids, so I don't know what kids watch or see anymore. All right. So I think I've gotten through most of the movies I wanted to talk about on my list. Is there any movies anybody else wants me to bring up? Anything else? Oh yeah, you like my flag? This is the official New Jersey flag. Republic of New Jersey. It's our official state bird, the seagull. Yeah, I don't think they would make movies like this anymore. And like I said, I don't necessarily think scaring kids is a good thing, but I think stories do need a certain narrative structure to challenge people, challenge the way they think. Like I like Neverending Story because it weaves into a person's ability to create, ability to imagine, um, that like the scary things going on in the story are the manifestations of people's lack of, like, they don't want to imagine, they don't want to dream anymore, they've lost their creative spark and things like that. Howard the Duck. All right, we'll look up Howard the Duck. Now, I don't think Howard the Duck was really meant to be a kids movie. Howard the Duck, I think, was more aimed at like a teen audience. Because wasn't he in sort of like a romantic relationship? It was more like an adult comedy. I actually don't think I've seen Howard the Duck all the way through. I know I've seen parts of it, but that's pretty weird looking. Lay writes, I feel like those movies eased me into the actual horror genre and I developed a deep appreciation for these types of movies. I think so too. And I think a lot of people share that same experience. And I think maybe that's why there's so many horror fans our age. Okay, let's see. Dungeon Master was a weird one. Okay, this one, I haven't seen it yet. It's on my Tubi list, but it looks really interesting. Let's read the synopsis really quick. A demonic wizard challenges. Come on, so many ads. A demonic wizard challenges a computer genius to a battle of technology versus sorcery with a programmer's girlfriend as the prize. Sounds incredible. I'll have to check this one out. It looks like a great schlocky 80s movie, and I love them so very, very much. And there's so many of them on Tubi. Tubi is the best. Okay. How about Mr. Boogedy? Boogedy Boogedy Boo Disney Saturday Night Movie. I'll look that up. Velvet Lauren writes, Gypsy 83 is my all-time favorite movie. If you like it, Ray and chat, not a kid's movie, but an awesome goth movie. I have heard of Gypsy 83. I have not had a chance to watch it, but it sounds like a really great movie that I would appreciate because I heard it's about what I believe two young teenagers, and one is a big fan of The Cure, and the other one's a big fan of Stevie Nicks, and it's sort of like a coming of age story about like these young alternative folks. I think I would really like that. So I think that's one I'm going to have to check out. Mr. Boogedy. Let me look that up real quick. I'm not familiar with Mr. Boogedy. Oh, that looks creepy. And it was a Disney made for TV. See, this was a little bit after my time. That was, oh no, it's 1986. Okay. Maybe I did see that at some point. I'm not sure. Bride of Boogedy had Eugene Levy in it. Oh, that sounds cool. Demonic wizard is Bull from Night Court. Bastion's father was cold-blooded. Yeah, Bastion's father, like, he's the type of person whose negative thoughts created the nothing that was destroying Fantasia. Yeah. Same thing with the bullies. Oh, it has Karen Black in it? Yeah, I'll have to check out Gypsy 83. And so this has a Goosebumps vibe. Yeah, Goosebumps was a show. Um, I actually didn't watch the Goosebumps show that much, but I did read a lot of the Goosebumps books. Hold on one second. So earlier in the stream, we were talking about Broad Street Books and how we made a visit there and we met the owners, and they were incredibly cool people, great taste in music. I picked up this book, Goosebumps Reader Beware, You Choose the Scare. This is a choose your own adventure Goosebumps book. And I remember I had this one as a kid, and it was just full of like scary moments. You'd turn the page and you'd meet some horrible fate. Um, yeah, I read a lot of Goosebumps books as a kid. I don't have them anymore. I don't even know if I even owned them as a kid when I was reading them. I think I was getting them for them from the school in the school library. But yeah, I remember reading a lot of Goosebumps. And I remember watching Are You Afraid of the Dark? I could do a whole stream on Are You Afraid of the Dark? Are You Afraid of the Dark had so many terrifying moments in it. The Midnight Society. Oh my god, Goosebumps. Yeah. All kinds of creepy dolls. Wasn't there one episode where they get turned into dolls? Yeah. They get trapped in a dollhouse and they become dolls. So creepy. Oh my god. I remember this one. They get trapped in like a weird fun house. Creepy jesters. Evil wizards being resurrected. Have a good night, Nick. Everybody go check out Movie Mania Nick. He has a channel. He does movie reviews and vlogs and stuff. He's a friend of mine. We actually go way back, so be sure to subscribe and check out his channel. Evil clowns. I actually don't remember the context of this episode, but I do remember this evil clown. Buck from Married with Children is one of the kids, and the sister was Christy Swanson. Really? The Pinball Wizard Mall episode was scary. The witch and it creeped me out. Yeah, they get stuck in a. They're in the mall, and it gets turned into this giant pinball machine. I remember that one. That was actually one of my favorite ones. Oh, God. So many memories. Any other scary movies we want to talk about? I think I touched on most of the ones I wanted to get into in this stream. Are there any other ones anyone wants me to tackle? I'm sure there's lots and lots more that I don't remember or that I just haven't thought about. And also, I was keeping this specifically to movies that were meant for children. There are hundreds of thousands of actually scary movies that I'm sure I saw and many of us saw as kids that we weren't supposed to see that also scarred us for life. But that's something I could probably make a whole nother stream about. Hellraiser 1 and 2 are amazing. They are, absolutely. Hellraiser 1 is one of my favorite horror movies. Just a great movie. The Garbage Pail Kids movie. Yes, they made a Garbage Pail Kids were a big deal back in the 80s, and they made a movie about it with the actual Garbage Pail Kids brought to life in it. And they just were absolutely awful looking. Look at that. That's so gross. I don't like that at all. And I did watch this as a kid, but I think I was a little older, so it wasn't scary to me. Oh yeah, here we go. Here's a good picture of them. Yeah, they even had an alligator one. This dude with all these like boils on his face. This is one I need to rewatch. Because I don't think I've seen this one since I was a kid. But I love the cards. I have a box of the cards somewhere. I don't even know where they are, but they're still somewhere around. Crazy. Only in the 80s. All right. Well, I think I'm going to wind it down. Um, had a lot of fun talking about these movies, sharing some of my childhood memories, and I'm glad you folks came and shared with me some of your memories of weird kids' movies. It really was a different time back then. But looking back, these movies are just really fantastic. I think all the ones I talked about, I would consider them to be great movies that are worth watching nowadays as adults. I think even if you have kids who you think can handle, I think kids should watch them too because I think they're great movies. Lay writes, I just love how much effort people put into movies back then, as silly as they were. And that's the thing why I love old movies so much. Not just the type of movies I talked about here, but they had to put so much imagination and creativity and ingenuity into these movies. And they were well written on top of it all. Movies nowadays, it's just there's CGI, there's green screen. Heck, they're even putting AI into movies now. It's just they're not even trying. And I think that's a big part of the reason why people aren't going to see the movies anymore. Just because it's just kind of feels soulless anymore. Now, I'm not saying they're all soulless. I'm sure there's still great movies out there. And I do want to go support and see the good ones that do come out. But it just feels different. It's just not the same. So anyway, I think I'm going to wrap it up. If you like the stream, please give it a like. And I hope to do more streams. I want to try and do maybe one stream a week. And I just want to do it just to chat with folks, just have you guys here. Just a little hangout session. I'm just going to look for topics, things I want to cover. It might be mall related. Might be related to might not be. Just generally speaking on this channel, we're just always looking and discussing nostalgic things. What got me interested in this one was VHS Fest. If you haven't seen my VHS Fest video, be sure to check it out. It was a really good time. Video's a lot of fun. And keeping with Wizard of Oz, we talked about Return to Oz. I did go to Country Junction, which is a strange grocery store filled with Wizard of Oz animatronics. So be sure to check out that video. And tomorrow evening, tune in because I do have a new video coming out. It's a really good one. We went to quite an amazing place, Land-I. We went to Otherworld in Philadelphia. So be sure to check that out. It's dropping at 6 o'clock tomorrow night. And there's more stuff coming. So I'm trying to get at least 3 videos out a week, if not more. We got a lot of stuff we want to do. So just stay tuned. Happy to have you here joining me on these adventures. So anyway, I'm going to wrap it up for tonight. Thank you all for hanging out with me. Have a good night. And I will see you later.